Hi, in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make these bracelets right here. Oh goodness. These bracelets are hopefully my own original designs, and they are called the Fishtail ladder bracelets. Now this is the original Fishtail ladder bracelet I made, the very first one. And here is one I made in a tutorial. And this is for a monster tail tutorial. And this tutorial is going to be for 2 forks. So that leads me to the second thing I want to say. This is my first ever 2 fork tutorial. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to give this a try. But anyway, we're going to be making this fishtail ladder bracelet. And well, to make it, you're going to need 2 forks, because that is what I'm using in this tutorial. If you have a loom or a monster tail, there will be a link to that tutorial in the description. I'm using 2 forks. You will need a hook, a clip, and you will also need rubber bands. Now, it doesn't matter what clip you use, just to let you know, but anyway, you're also going to need rubber bands. Now, as you can see here, there are 3 different groups. There are the A rubber bands, the B rubber bands, and the C rubber bands. And I'm going to explain what each group is. So this A group, or these A rubber bands, are going to be the rubber bands that are the outer fishtails. Oh my gosh, it's getting dark. Okay, I'm gonna use this one. Are going to be the outer 2 rows of the fishtail. So these pink and blue rubber bands that are in the fishtail. The B rubber bands are going to be the center fishtail. So the one inside of the bracelet, which it's white and turquoise in this example. And these C rubber bands are going to be the rung rubber bands, or the rubber bands stretching across the 2 outside fishtails and on top of the center fishtail. And they're this blue in the example. So yeah, I can't really tell you how many rubber bands you're going to need, because this is a growing bracelet. That means that however, or how big your wrist is will determine how many rubber bands you will need. So yeah, now that you know what you're going to need, get your supplies and use the pause button so that you can do so, and I will see you once you have everything. Alright, so to get started on making your bracelet, you're going to need to have your 2 forks attached some way so that they will not kind of move around and split apart or something while you're making it. And you're also going to need all of your rubber bands, and you're also going to need your hook. Now, I would recommend having your hook small enough or skinny enough so it'll fit between the prongs, because that will be very useful when we go to make our bracelet and start looming. So anyway, to begin, you're going to get a B color rubber band, and what you're going to do is you're going to twist it going across from one fork to the other, and you're going to stretch it going across all 4 prongs on one fork. Then when you go to stretch it across to the other side, you're going to twist it onto the other prongs. So you get this bow tie shape, or this kind of hourglass shape. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get 2 A color rubber bands, and you're going to place one of them going across these 2 leftmost prongs. So you're not going to stretch it across 2 prongs, you're only going to stretch it going across 1. So you're not going to do this, you're going to just do this. Now you'll do the same thing with another A color rubber band, only on the right. Now you're going to want to get a B color rubber band, only one, you only need one, and you're going to stretch it going across these 2 centermost prongs to the other 2. So only the B color rubber bands will be on 2 prongs, like this. And this will be useful in a few minutes when we start looming and adding some things. Alright, well anyway, now we're going to add one more layer of A and B color rubber bands. We're going to get 2 A color rubber bands, one's going across these 2 left prongs, and the other's going across these 2 right prongs. Then we're going to get a B color rubber band and stretch it going from these 2 center prongs on one fork to the center prongs on the other fork. Now we have 3 layers of rubber bands on all 8 prongs, so now it's time to loom. So you're going to get your hook, you're going to grab the bottom B color rubber band, or in other words, the rubber band we twisted at the beginning, and this is actually your cap band, so you're going to grab this bottom B color rubber band, pull it over on one side of your fork, and then do the other one, or do it the same thing on the other fork. You're going to grab this bottom B color rubber band, pull it over the other fork. Now you have something like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add another layer of A and B color rubber bands. So we're going to get 2 A color rubber bands first. We're going to place one of them going across these 2 left prongs, and the other going across these 2 right prongs. Then we're going to get a B color rubber band, and we're going to place it going across these 2 middle prongs on one fork over to these 2 middle prongs on the other fork. Now because we have 3 layers of rubber bands, we're going to loom again. So we're going to get our hook, we're going to grab the bottom rubber band here on the left, here in the middle, and here on the right. And then do the same thing on the other side. Grab the bottom here on the left, grab the bottom here in the middle, and here on the right. Okay. Yep, tighten this back out, readjust it. There we go. Alright, now we're going to do something a little different. So we're going to place rubber bands again, but we're going to do something a little different this time. What we're going to do this time is we're going to get 2 C color rubber bands. We're going to place one of them going across one fork, and make sure you place it going across all 4 prongs. And you're going to do the same thing with your other C color rubber band you got out. You're going to place it going across the 4 prongs of the other fork. Now what you're going to want to do before you place any more or loom any more bands, you're going to want to get your hook, go in between the 2 forks like so. Then you're going to grab the C color rubber band here that you stretched across one of the forks, and you're going to grab this side that's here on that's in between the 2 forks. So you're going to grab this here, and you're going to carefully pull it back behind these 2 center prongs like so. So you'll get something like this. You'll do the same thing for the other side. You'll go in between the 2 forks. You'll grab this side of the C color rubber band that's there, and you're going to carefully pull it behind these 2 center prongs. So now you have something like this. And now we're going to go ahead and add our next layer of A and B color rubber bands. So you get 2 A color rubber bands. You place one going across these 2 left prongs, the other going across these 2 right prongs, and then you get another B color rubber band, and you place it going across these 2 center prongs on both forks. Now what we're going to do is we're going to loom again. So get your hook, and what you're going to do is you're going to grab this C color rubber band first. You're not going to grab the bottom rubber bands yet. You're going to grab this C color rubber band first from the outside of the forks. You're going to pull it, so whatever you grab, it's on the outside of the forks. And there should only be 1 layer. You're going to pull it over the fork. And what you're going to do is you're going to make sure you tuck this back in behind these 2 center prongs again. So, as you can see here, I have this kind of straight line. What I'm going to do with it is I'm going to grab it and pull it back behind these 2 center prongs again. You'll do the same thing on the other side. You'll grab this C color rubber band from the outside of the forks, closest right there, the layer right there, and pull it over the fork. And if you get this straight line type of thing here, you're going to want to pull this back behind these two center prongs. Make sure nothing change. Make sure that's the only place it gets pulled back. Alright, now we can go ahead and loom the bottom rubber band over the prong. So, here on the left, just grab the bottom, pull it over. Here on the right, grab the bottom, pull it over. But in the middle, it's going to be different. Instead of just grabbing the bottom rubber band, what we're going to do instead is we're going to pull back these C-color rubber bands. And this is a little bit easier if your fork or if your hook can squeeze through between the prongs on your fork. So you're going to pull back these C-color rubber bands. You're going to grab this bottom B-color rubber band and pull it over. You'll do the same thing on the other fork. You're going to pull back any C-color rubber bands there, both layers. You're going to grab this B-color rubber band here on the bottom and just pull it over. Once you've done that, that was one cycle through the pattern. Just first placing the regular rubber bands and then placing these rung rubber bands. But we're not done yet. What we're going to do is we need to get rid of these C-color rubber bands that are here on the two center prongs because they're kind of in the way for our next step. So what we need to do is we need to pull back any C-color rubber bands, grab the bottom two remaining B-color rubber bands, carefully pull them up. Do not release them when you pull them off of the prong because you're going to do that. You're just going to pull them over to another prong on your fork. So I'm going to bring mine over here to the left. And be careful, make sure they do not mix too much with the other rubber bands on those prongs. But you need to make sure you move these B-color rubber bands. And what you're going to do now is on the same fork, you're going to grab this C-color rubber band remaining and carefully pull it off of the two center prongs. Just pull it off. Now you're going to move these rubber bands that you had moved. You're going to get these B-color rubber bands you had moved. You're going to put them back on the two center prongs they were on originally. And you're going to do the same thing you did here on the other fork. So you're going to pull back these these C-color rubber bands, both layers. You're going to grab the remaining two B-color rubber bands and you're going to carefully bring them over. You're going to pull them off carefully and bring them over to another prong on your fork. Now you're just going to go ahead and pull these C-color rubber bands remaining off. And once you've done that, so once they're off of your fork, you can go ahead and put these C-color rubber band, or these B-color rubber bands, sorry, back on the original two prongs they were on before. But anyway, now we have gone through the entire process or the pattern for making this bracelet once. And I'm going to be showing you the pattern / process for making this bracelet one more time, and then I'm going to leave you to finish making your bracelet on your own. So you might want to pay extra close attention if you haven't been doing so already, and I will try to explain a little better if the first time was confusing. So anyway, what we're going to do to start over is we're going to place regular rubber bands. We're going to get two A-color rubber bands. We're going to place one of them going across these two left prongs, the other going across these two right prongs. Then we're going to get a B-color rubber band and we're going to place it going across these two center prongs on both forks. So these two center prongs to these two. Now there are 3 layers of rubber bands on all 8 prongs, so we need to loom the bottom layers. So you get your hook, grab the bottom rubber band, here on the left, pull it over. Here in the center, You're going to grab the bottom rubber band, pull it over. Same here on the right. Grab the bottom rubber band, pull it over. Then you'll turn your 2 forks around, do the same thing here on the other side. Grab the bottom rubber band, pull it over. Here in the center, make sure you grab the bottom rubber band, pull it over. And then here on the right, you'll do the same thing. Alright, now this time we're going to do something a little different. We're going to get 2 C-color rubber bands. We're going to place 1 C-color rubber band going across the 4 prongs of 1 fork, so here on top, and another C-color rubber band going across these 4 prongs on the other fork. And we're going to get our hook, and with one of the C-color rubber bands, we're going to grab it. We're going to go in between the 2 forks, sorry. We're going to go in between the 2 forks. We're going to grab this C-color rubber band that's sitting there, so from the inside, and we're going to carefully pull it out so that the C-color rubber band is tucked outside of the 2 center prongs, like so. You'll do the same thing for the other fork. You'll go in between these 2 forks. You'll grab this side of the C-color rubber band that's there, and you're going to carefully, very carefully, pull it, oh my goodness, carefully pull it out behind these 2 center prongs, getting something like this. Now we're going to go ahead and add our next layer of A and B color rubber bands. So we're going to get 2 A color rubber bands first. We're going to place one going across these 2 left prongs and the other going across these 2 right prongs. Then we're going to get a B color rubber band. We're going to place it going across the 2 center prongs on both forks. And now it is time to loom. So you're going to get your hook, you're going to grab the, and looming is a little different this time. You're going to grab this C color rubber band on one of the forks. You're going to pull it over the fork. And when you do, if you get this straight line, you need to go back in between the 2 forks again, grab the C color rubber band that's sitting there, and carefully retuck it behind the 2 center prongs. So now it's no longer that straight line, it's now kind of a U shape. You'll do the same thing for the other side. You'll grab the C color rubber band from the outside of the 2 forks. You won't grab this second layer that's in there. Just grab the side that's on the outside of the 2 forks. Pull this layer over. And now you should have something like this. And if you have a straight line like this here, the straight horizontal line, you'll need to fix that. You'll grab your hook, go in between these 2 forks, grab the C color rubber band there, and carefully tuck it behind the 2 center prongs again. So you have this U shape. Now we can go ahead and loom the bottom rubber bands. Here on the left and the right it's normal. So here on the left you grab the bottom rubber band, pull it over the pin, or the prong. Then here on the right you grab the bottom rubber band, pull it over the prong as well. But here in the middle you need to find your C color rubber bands, all of them that are outside of the 2 center prongs. So only these 2 C color rubber bands. It looks like 2, but it's only 1. Then you're going to just pull them back. You're going to grab the bottom B color rubber band and loom it. Then you'll do the same looming process on the other side. Here on the left, just grab the bottom rubber band, pull it over. Here on the right, grab the bottom rubber band, pull it over. But here in the center, you need to find your 2 C color rubber bands. What looks like 2. You're going to pull them back. You're going to grab the bottom B color rubber band now. And then you're going to just loom it over, like normal. Alright, so now we're almost done with the whole pattern for making this bracelet. Now we need to get rid of these C color rubber bands here on these two center prongs because they're kind of in the way for our next step. So what we need to do is, this is very important because if you don't do this, it'll mess up your bracelet. You need to remove these C color rubber bands from the prongs, but it's a little different from just pulling them off. What you need to do is you need to pull back the two C color rubber bands, so the same two C color rubber bands, grab the remaining two B color rubber bands, and carefully take them off and move them over to another prong on your fork. Then you can go ahead and take the C color rubber bands off. Be very careful. Just go ahead and take them off. And then you're going to move these B color rubber bands you moved back over to the two center prongs they were on originally. And make sure you keep the rubber bands in the original order they were in. So I'll show you on the other side. So here on the other side I have turquoise and then mango, which these are the rubber bands. Here, that's the order they're in. When I go to move them, you pull back the C color rubber bands, grab the remaining two B color rubber bands, carefully move them over to another prong. They're still in the same order. It's still turquoise on the bottom and mango on the top. And you go ahead and take off your C color rubber bands. Then you put these B color rubber bands back. And they should still be in the original order they were in before. So still turquoise on the bottom and mango on the top. And yeah, so that's pretty much how you make the fishtail ladder bracelet. It's kind of difficult to show you that my bracelet is growing, but it is doing that. It's very difficult to show you, but yeah, that's my attempt. But yeah, that's pretty much all you're going to do. You're just going to continue this pattern of placing and looming over and over until you make your fishtail ladder bracelet long enough to fit around your wrist or however long you wish to make it. I'm going to be making mine a bracelet, so I'm going to be making my bracelet this thing long enough to fit around my wrist. And yeah, so you're just going to continue this pattern, and if you're still not sure of how to make this bracelet still, just go back a few minutes in the tutorial where I explain how to make this in the pattern, and there will be a time as a caption because you do not want to start from the beginning again. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the video. I'm not going to fast forward. And yeah, so make your fishtail ladder, whatever it's going to be, long enough for whatever it's going to be, and I will show you how to take this thing off of your forks. Alright, just as a tip, when you are making your bracelet, something you might want to do before you do start making your bracelet is set up the rubber bands as for what you're going to be placing next. So, okay, I have it on my monster tail, but so I have these. I have the green and pink rubber bands. Next I would place green. As you can see here, I have the next layer right here. Then I have the layer that comes after that. Then the next layer. And then that. Going all the way up until the end of my fishtail ladder bracelet. And this extra rubber band up here, I will explain what that is when it comes time to finish off our bracelet. But yeah. So I would recommend organizing your rubber bands like this: the outer fishtails, the center fishtail, and then the ladder rungs. And yeah, so that's just a small tip if you kind of know how many rubber bands you will need. So yeah, go ahead and go back to looming. Alright, so as you can see here, I have made my fishtail ladder bracelet long enough so it will now fit around my wrist, and you should have made yours about the length you need to make it as well. And what we're going to be doing now is we're going to start taking our bracelet off of the forks and onto our wrists. So to do this, you're going to need 3 rubber bands. You're going to need 2 A color rubber bands and 1 B color rubber band. And you'll need an additional rubber band, which I guess we could call this a B color rubber band because it'll be the same color as what you're using for your B colors. So get another B color rubber band. So you'll need 2 B color rubber bands and 2 A color rubber bands. You'll also need your clip, and I need to go grab mine, so hold on. Alright, I have my clip now, and what we're going to do now is we're going to start to take our bracelet off of our forks. So to do this, you need to make sure you get rid of any C color rubber bands that are on the prongs or on the fork. So you should only have A and B color rubber bands. You shouldn't have any of these rung rubber bands on there. Right now what we're going to do is we're going to get 2 of our A color rubber bands, no matter what's on top. So you're just going to get 2 of your A color rubber bands. You're going to put one of them going across these 2 left prongs, and the other going across these 2 right prongs. Same thing we did before when we were placing. Then we're going to get a B color rubber band and place it going across these 2 center prongs on one fork to the 2 center prongs on the other fork. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just loom the bottom layer of rubber bands over on everywhere you can do that. So over here on the left, you grab this one bottom rubber band, pull it over. Here in the middle, grab the bottom rubber band, pull it over. Here on the right, grab the bottom rubber band, pull it over. Same on the other fork. Grab the bottom rubber band here. Oh, trying to do that. Here we go. Pull it over. Here in the center, bottom, pull it over. And here on the right as well. Grab the bottom, pull it over. Now you should have 2 layers of rubber bands everywhere there are rubber bands. And what we're going to do now is we're going to loom the bottom layer again. We're not going to place anything, we're just going to loom again. So there are 2 layers of rubber bands. Whenever you loom the bottom, there should only be 1 left. So here on the left, you grab the bottom rubber band here, and you loom it over. And now as you can see, there's only 1 layer remaining on this fork. Do the same here in the middle, and same here on the right. 1 layer on each place for the rubber bands. And we do the same on the other side, or on the other fork. Grab the bottom, pull it over. Grab the bottom, pull it over. Grab the bottom, pull it over. There you go, there's 1 layer of rubber bands everywhere there are rubber bands. And now it is time to actually finish off the bracelet, add our last B color rubber band, and attach our clip. So to add this last B color rubber band, we need to move everything onto 1 pin on our loom. Now, you can or not 1 pin, but 1 area on our loom, and we're going to be moving it all into the center here. So on these 2 center prongs, just to make everything easier at the end. So you're going to start here on the left. You're going to grab the rubber band here on the left. You're going to very, very carefully take it off of this prong and move it over to the center. So these 2 center prongs here. And you'll do the same here for the right prong. You'll go in, or you won't go in, but you'll go and grab this rubber band, very carefully pull it off, and move it inwards to these 2 center prongs. Now there should be 3 layers of rubber bands on these 2 center prongs. Now you're going to turn your forks around, but here on this fork you're going to do something a little different. Instead of starting on the left, you're going to start on the right this time. So you're going to come over here to the right, carefully pull the rubber band off and move it into the center. Now we're going to do the left rubber band. Carefully pull it off and bring it into the center. So first it's left to right, then it's right, and then left. now there's 3 layers of rubber bands on both forks on the 2 center prongs. Now what we will do is grab our B color rubber band, place it going across these 2 center prongs on one fork to the 2 center prongs on the other fork, and we're going to loom all of the bottom rubber bands on both forks. So over here, we just go ahead and just grab everything on the bottom, pull it over. I have to grab this last one here. And here on the other fork, do the same thing. Grab the bottom, pull them over. Very simple. Now what we're going to do is, once you've loomed all the bottom rubber bands, you're going to grab the B color rubber band on one of the forks. You're going to very carefully pull it off of that fork and bring it over to the other fork. So over here where the other end of the rubber band is, you're going to bring this on your hook over to those 2 center prongs. Sorry for that, because you're going to bring them over, or it over. And now you should have something like this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get your clip and attach it to this rubber band here that is on these 2 center prongs. And it is a little bit difficult for me, so I'm going to go ahead and stretch this bottom rubber band out a little more. Oop, that's not good. Okay, well I'm just going to go ahead and just get my clip on both ends of this rubber band here. So once you have your clip on the rubber band, you can take the rubber band off of the fork, and now your clip should be attached to one end of your bracelet. Now what you're going to do is you're going to attach your clip to the other end of your bracelet, or your cap band, which is the first rubber band we placed. So what we're going to do, we're going to stretch our cap band out on our finger. We're going to hold the bracelet. We're going to put our finger in the cap band and pull up. So hold onto the bracelet and just move your finger up. And get your clip on the other end of your bracelet and attach it to this stretched out cap band. Simple. And once you've done that, your clip is attached to both ends of your bracelet, and now your bracelet is wearable. And bam! So as you can see here, I am now wearing my Fishtail ladder bracelet, and you can't really see it very well, but that's because of the lighting, but I can't really do much about that, so let me try to adjust it. Okay, there we go. That looks better on the camera. Hopefully it does look better. But yeah. So I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, other than I guess it's just time for the outro, so let's just get started. So I would like to thank you for watching my tutorial. Hopefully it showed you how to make this fishtail ladder bracelet successfully, and hopefully you are enjoying your fishtail ladder bracelet. I'm actually enjoying this myself because it's so difficult to pick a color combination to use for these, because you just gotta use the right colors. It's very difficult to pick the colors for this bracelet, which is the only problem I ever have with it, and how long it takes to make, it's taken me about an hour to make this off camera, so that's why I didn't fast forward or anything. But yeah, the only problems with this is the time it takes to make this, and also the color combination. What color should I use? And yeah, one thing I like about it is that it's the fishtail ladder bracelet. I mean, I've never seen one of these, and it's pretty cool looking, and I created it, I hope. But yeah, so that was my first ever 2-fork tutorial. I hope you were able to understand what the heck I was saying this whole time, and you were able to do everything I did, and you have your bracelet now. And hopefully this tutorial, it wasn't too long. If you do have some feedback on my tutorial, then please put it in the comment section, because this is a new thing for me to fork tutorials, and if you have suggestions, then please leave them in the comment section because that would help me out a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say, other than thanks for watching, and bye!